want to move on to kind of more your creative process and sound design kind of stuff. I think one of the things that I love about your productions, especially some of your more successful ones, is that you're really bold in your choices in that everything is I feel like at its core, it's actually really simple. I feel like you're just like, it's something I'm very jealous of because I struggle with it, where you're really great at picking out like a couple sounds, like these are the stars, everything else is in the background. So I wanted to talk about like, what's your process with like finding samples or finding like the one, riff or main sound?
Yeah. It's interesting that you picked that out because like that's definitely something that I like really have like tried to fine tune over the years because like obviously I came up making like EDM. All that shit's like 140 channels, and it's like, I've been producing for like half my life now, pretty much, actually over half my life. And it's funny watching my track counts go from like 130 tracks for like an instrumental too, not even like vocal, to like 12, And it's like a big part of it's just fine tuning your ear, and like it's hard to like grasp onto like what actually is different about like what you're doing. It's really just developing your ear, seeing like what samples sound good, what samples don't. And I think a big part of it too is just like, knowing your sound selection, knowing your sample library. A big thing that I've been doing lately is like on days that I don't have sessions, I'll just, rather than like making loops, like I don't feel the need to like flesh out a full loop. I'll make like one little chord thing that's like interesting, you know, that I can play in like a session. And get people like excited, sometimes, exactly. I just like get it like a big folder. Like a big thing for me lately has just been coming into a session with like some sort of idea, Like it's great to cook up from scratch. And I think as producers, we all like to think like, oh, like it would be awesome if I can just like cook up something amazing. Like, but the reality is like, you could maybe like come in with an idea and the artist might not like it. And it's just like, if you have like 20 or 30 little riff things, whatever it is, even if it's like a sound that's inspiring, just something to like kind of fucking get the ball rolling. Cause like, as we know, like a blank canvas is like it's the biggest enemy of fucking.
And I think too, in my own experience, it's just from a songwriter's experience too, as a top liner that I do a lot. I like having a production. When a producer's like, hey, I have some things, the less in the production, the better. Yeah. Just because it's like, cool, we can like make other moves. Yeah. And that's why when you're like, oh yeah, even if it's just a sound. Yeah. That's, I think is really, really smart. Like I try to do it where even sometimes I'll like open up Omnisphere or something else and just start starring sounds. Yeah. Where I'm like, ooh, this one is interesting. And this is one that I can go back to in a session one day.
Absolutely. Dude, I think that's so important. I think that's like really slept on too. Like for me, like the biggest thing I've realized is just like the way that I get good results producing is by keeping myself constantly inspired. Yeah. Whether it's splice stuff that I like or like a serum preset or a new plugin. Just something where I'm like not always dealing with the same tools, you know? And like a big game changer for me recently, I got a second monitor, like a vertical monitor.
Oh, nice.
And I just have it open to splice constantly. Yeah. Because like before I used to go like in Ableton, if I needed like a kick drum, I'd search like kick and I have it sorted by rank. So I'm like always using the same shit, you know? And now I just use Splice as like my sample finder and I'll sort by like random and I'll just always get new shit.
People are sleeping on the random function of Splice.
Dude, absolutely, yeah.
I found so many like good samples that I would have never found if I didn't use random.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Splice, I have no idea what they're doing behind the scenes, but I feel like with AI and all that shit, it's going to get even more powerful too.
Yeah, no, they're starting to like introduce like new things where it's like even the show similar sounds that Splice has now. I find that super useful.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard to like find the right thing sometimes, but like no, I totally agree. I'm like all for like the easier you can make your job and the more songs you can make, I think the better. You know, like it'd be great to spend a month on a fucking song and, get all these live players and stuff. But like the reality is it's like, 99% of the songs we make are not going to be fucking hits, you know? So like, let's try to get the fucking hits out.
Dude. So I want to go a little bit deeper into the actual